Welcome to this astrologically led yoga practice, guided by the energy of Pisces. Pisces is the sign of the dreamer, the mystic, and the poet. It's deeply connected to intuition, creativity, imagination, and the unseen threads that link us all. As the final sign of the zodiac, Pisces represents an ending. It's an invitation to soften, to release control, to trust what we can't always explain, and to move through life with surrender and flow rather than force. In this practice, we'll work with the water element, embodying fluidity in the body and breath. Let your movements be fluid and unforced, responding to the wave of your breath, softening where you usually grip, and easing into each shape. Let this be a space to let go, to move slowly enough to connect to your intuition, to melt tension, and to flow around whatever feels stuck. When you're ready, come to your mat and let's begin. As always, you can find the playlist for this class below. So if you'd like to listen to that, hit play and I'll meet you down on your back in a constructive rest position. And taking as long as you need to find your way down onto your back. Allowing the spine, the pelvis to land, and taking a bend into the knees, placing the soles of the feet to stack underneath them. Maybe the arms come to lay alongside the body. And if it feels right, maybe the eyes draw to a close or you find a softness through your gaze. Notice the support of the earth beneath you. This steady, unwavering, unconditional support. And the embrace of the air around you. A gentle hug, a soft embrace. And start to draw your awareness more internally. Start to become aware of the flow of your breath. The inhale, the exhale, and the brief pause that arises at the top of each breath and at the bottom of each breath. Knowing there's nothing that needs to be changed about your breath here. Everything is perfect, everything is complete exactly as it is. Staying with the natural flow of your breath. Notice where the current of air travels. Maybe toward the belly as it expands. Perhaps out towards the sides of the waist. Maybe into the lower back. Maybe starting to bring in this element of water. Perhaps envisioning your breath as a current pouring in through the nose, down the back of the throat, filling the lungs. Each inhale an invitation to draw in the new. And then on your exhale, notice the breath's pathway as it travels back out of the body. This opposite flow, a reverse current. Each exhale an opportunity to release, to let go, to dissolve of what no longer serves. Maybe as you stay with the breath here, you start to notice it becomes like a wave. Each inhale, the tide lapping toward the shore. And each exhale, the wave retreating back into this greater cosmic ocean. Notice the quality of the breath, maybe a sense of lightness, of fullness. Or this play, this juxtaposition between floating and sinking as you breathe. Allow the breath to stay effortless, maybe rounding out the edges, dissolving any places of stickiness as you find one smooth breath in and out. And we'll take 4 more rounds of breath here. And staying with this idea of the breath like a wave, allowing it to be fluid, to be smooth. And then as you find your final inhale, imagining it filling every corner of the body, expanding out. And exhale, open the mouth, release, sigh it out. And keeping this fluidity and this ease of movement, we'll start to bring some movement into the body. Allow the knees to slowly sweep, to rock from side to side. Move through a few windshield wipers here, taking the pace nice and slow. Notice the sensation of weight pouring from right to left as your knees move in space. This trickle of gravity through your bones. And then the next time your knees fall over toward the right, allow them to land there, rolling away onto the right side of your body. Then slowly pressing your way up into a seat. Left hand grounds beside the left knee, right hand sweeps up and overhead. Send your breath, your attention into your right rib cage. The space between each and every rib opening up like gills with each breath in. And then as you find your exhale, right forearm lands to the mat outside the left knee. Left hand sweeps up and overhead. Send your inhale into the left side rib cage. And on the breath out, left arm spirals back into your side bend toward the left. And taking your time to move between these two shapes, matching the pace of your own breath, finding your sense of fluidity here. How can you invite a sense of effortlessness? The next time your left forearm meets the mat, slowly roll your way back onto your spine. Bend into the knees and bring the feet hip distance apart. Arms draw down alongside the body. From here, imagine closing the space between your lower back and the floor beneath you. Tilt your pelvis, your hip bones back towards your rib cage to feel the back of your spine connect with the earth. And then as you find your next exhale, create a little curve between your lower spine and the floor, tilting your pelvis forward in space. So exploring this pelvic tilt back and forward as you match the pace of your inhale and exhale. Noticing this gentle curve, this slight wave through the spine. Maybe the back of the skull sliding along the mat as your pelvis moves. And the next time your pelvis is tucked under, root down into the soles of the feet and slowly push your hips up off the earth, lengthening the hip points to the sky. And the breath out, articulating your way back down piece by piece. Inhale to rise, tuck the tailbone under, lifting the hips to the sky. And then exhale, rippling down vertebrae by vertebrae to find the mat. We'll take one more of these, ground down into the soles of your feet. Find your in-breath to float your way up into your bridge. This time pausing as you find top. Squeezing into the glutes, take a bend into the right knee, lengthening the right leg up to the sky. Then bring the right ankle to stack over top of the left knee, pressing the right knee out in space. Keep the hips nice and high for one more full breath. And then on the exhale, pelvis meets the mat, finding your reclined figure of 4. From here, keeping the legs as they are, allow the knees to knock from side to side, sweeping left to right. Noticing what it feels like to move with softness and slowness here. Take one more sweep from left to right. The next time your knees land over to the left, plant the sole of the right foot to the earth. And keeping the right knee lengthened to the sky, allow your chest to open toward the right, finding a spinal twist. Notice any sensations through the hips, the feeling of the breath flowing deep into the belly. Stay for one more inhale. And as you exhale, allow your left leg to lengthen out long and rolling toward your belly, keeping the right knee bent at a 90-degree angle. We'll roll our way into a sphinx on the belly. And surrender the weight of your body to the earth. Notice the belly softly expand. And taking one more breath in here. And then on breath out, threading left arm under the right and keeping your right knee bent, bring it back into a reclined figure of 4. So right ankle is stacking over left knee. Invitation to stay here, or maybe the left knee, the left foot picks up off the earth, finding a thread of the fingers over the shin or behind the left thigh. Send your breath deep into the hip sockets. Allow it to flow through you, bringing in that fresh energy. And then on your breath out, releasing a hold of your figure 4 and finding again those windshield wipers from side to side. Taking note if anything has changed, if anything has shifted. Then as the knees land to the left, this time rolling onto left side body, pressing your way up, ground down through the left sit bone, sweep left hand up and overhead, finding a side bend. Expand the space between each and every rib. And on the exhale, left forearm lands, right hand sweeps up and overhead, side bending to the left this time. Moving back and forward between right and left. How can you invite a sense of flow here? Maybe that's circling the arms forward. Maybe finding another intuitive way to move. A way that makes sense in the body before it does in the mind. The next time left forearm lands, slowly roll your way back onto the spine. Bringing your feet to stack beneath your knees and bringing the legs out hip distance. Again, moving through a few of those pelvic tilts. Noticing the subtle ripple of the spine and the body back and forward in space as the pelvis glides forward and back. And anchor down into the soles of the feet, and on the in-breath, float your way up into a bridge. Lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, a gentle squeeze through the glutes. And this time bend into the left knee, left leg reaches toward the sky. Then bring the left ankle to stack over top of right knee. Drive the earth away through right foot. And slowly bring the hips to lower, finding your reclined figure of 4. As you land, allow the knees to sweep side to side. This gentle flow of momentum from right to left. And the next time the knees land over toward the right, plant the sole of the left foot to the earth. Maybe the left arm extends out to the left as you find a spinal twist. Can you find a sense of softness through the hips? And that effortless wave of the breath. Take one cleansing inhale. And as you exhale, this time rolling toward the right side of your body. Rolling toward your belly, keep the left knee bent in space, finding a half frog through the leg as you create a sphinx shape through the arms and the upper body. Allow everything to grow heavy here. As gravity anchors you down to the earth. And then from here, right arm threads under left. And as you roll your way back to the spine, find that figure of 4 with the left ankle stacked over right knee. Invitation to thread the fingers over the right shin or maybe behind the right thigh. And then as you find your shape, land in the breath. One final inhale. And as you find the breath out, release a hold of the legs. We'll find a bend into the knees to come back into that constructive rest shape. Just a moment of pause to notice what is here